Hey, Pastor here. Just want to take a few minutes and share with you about an exciting new project we have as we assume more responsibility and growth here in our building. We're so grateful for what God has done over the last 10 months or so in the building. We've seen God add all kinds of new people and ministries. And the next step for us is what we've called phase 2. And that involves a few steps that are crucial to the growth of our ministry here in this building God has blessed us with and that you've given so sacrificially for. And so what I want to do is just walk around with you just a bit today and show you some of the components of what your monies and your prayers will help us and position us to be able to do. Starting with the tie-in on the classroom side of the building. As you know, this past spring we were able to renovate the classroom wing, and we now have 6 classrooms functioning, and our kids are enjoying those and our teachers. And just to this side of that classroom wing is what we call our central lobby. And right now what we have to do is we actually have to walk outside to get between the auditorium space and our classroom wing. And what we're wanting to do is this wall that's behind me here, you'll see some outlets here on the wall from about right there all the way over to this office. Pastor Dave, if you can stand this way, this corner room, this is all going to be a central hallway that ties the 2 spaces together. So the goal will be, the prayer is that eventually you'll see a couple sets of double doors. Those will enter into a corridor, which then ties into what is some existing kitchen space that will eventually tie directly in with the auditorium. In just a minute, we'll go around the other side and I'll show you that space. But this whole area here, this lobby that you see to my left, and then the wall that I just showed you, this all will be a common shared area. We're thinking probably in this space right over here, from right here where my office currently is, and then this open area will be a singular office / welcome center. In that you'll see a nice open window with a countertop, and that's where folks will go to get bulletins, information about the church. During the week, during our business hours, that'll serve as the main church office that Brother Schlegel will work out of. And so it's kind of a neat shared space. Also in the back will be a work area for our teachers, paper, supplies, office machine, that kind of thing. So that'll be off on this side. And then this all will be central lobby with, again, the tie-in down to my right. If you'll follow me, we're going to show you, we'll walk outside and show you the other side, how this will tie together. So you have the classroom wing to your right, and then to the left is the auditorium. We're going to walk outside, and just for the record, as we're walking out right now, the temperature is about 4 degrees. So not to work the crowd, but this is what our kids, if they come over, or teachers, or folks coming from between the offices to the church auditorium, right now we have to walk outside. Snowy days, rainy days, and so we're wanting to create that hallway to avoid that conflict of scheduling. So we're going to walk over here through these doors into our south lobby and then to the auditorium. Some of you have come this way before, but as you come in, you'll notice we have our bathrooms, and then to the right is our auditorium space. Through here is where I want to show you the tie-in. All right, so this is our auditorium space. And if you're watching this video, you're probably sitting in church right now, and you know what I'm talking about. But if you will, follow me over this way. I'm going to show you where the tie-in will be from the other side. It's going to be through these doors right here. This is our kitchen space that shortly we'll be using. You'll have some kitchen noise you'll hear, so just ignore that. Come on in if you will. And if you remember on the other side, I showed you that blank wall and then Nathan's office, Brother Schlegel's office. This is the other side of that wall. And right now you'll see, Pastor Dave, if you want to come in on this way, you'll see they have a couple of cooling units, walk-in freezer and refrigerator. These will be removed, and this right here is where the tie-in will be. So right about where I'm standing, where this hood vent ends, will be the edge of the kitchen. So we'll have a wall here. This will all be lobby space. And then right here will be kind of a counter access into the kitchen. So a nice serving area. Probably this counter we'll use for coffee, fellowship, hospitality, that kind of stuff on a Sunday morning or during the week. And then this hallway right here will access the auditorium. Pastor Dave, if you come over this way just a little bit and pan back toward the auditorium, where this door is right now, there'll be a set of double doors into the south auditorium. And then on this side of that divider will be another set of double doors. So you'll come in this lobby all the way down. We'll only use that as our main entrance. Come through the central lobby, come in through this hallway, and then you'll dump into one of these two sets of double doors. We also can pull the wall and still access both rooms from the central lobby and hallway, but that's kind of the flow of it. All right, last thing I wanted to show you, we're going to walk back into the auditorium, is some of the improvements we want to do as a part of Phase 2 project on the auditorium itself. I just want to talk about a couple of things that pertain to that. The first thing is, Pastor Dave, we'll come down here. We've got carpet. You'll notice, I don't know if you've noticed when you've walked in, but a lot of the carpet is overstretched. It's worn thin. You'll see a lot of worn marks on the carpet. I mentioned to the church a few weeks ago, but excuse me, thankfully we were able to raise enough money to buy the auditorium chairs. So those are already in queue. Those are being ordered. They'll be here in February. But we'd like to re-carpet this space, do some fresh paint. And then up where the auditorium stage is right now, we'd like to do some improvements there, some stage spotlights, a few things with our audio video. Much of that's already done. Probably build a bit of a stage and a few things like that, but just some minor improvements that freshen up the space. We may also lose the disco ball, I'm thinking, but we'll be renovating this space enough to where it looks sharp, looks crisp, looks like an auditorium. Where we can worship and honor the Lord. All right, now here are a few key notes for you to take note of as you pray with us about this project. Number one, this is called Phase 2, and we're seeking to raise $100,000. So I'd like you to pray about that, see if God would lead you and enable you to give something extra over the next couple of weeks. The goal is to have these monies come in by February the 25th. That's the last Sunday of February, and to raise those monies so that we can do a couple of things. First, the tie-in between the two buildings, that hallway, all that's involved in that, refloor the lobby, put in that new office. Secondly, would be to do a few things in the kitchen to make that more serviceable. And then thirdly, to improve the feel, the environment that happens here in the auditorium. New carpet, some minor things technically that need to be added to the room, paint, those kind of things. And so we'd ask you to pray about what you could give for Phase 2. If you'd like to commit to something, you can communicate that through your connection card and then give as God enables. If you'd like to give something before the end of the year or shortly into the new year, we welcome that. But we'd ask you to pray about giving to Phase 2 so that we can advance the gospel ministry here at North Life and out of North Life to the ministries that we partner with. Would you pray with us about Phase 2? Would you give? And let's see what God can do in this new year for His glory and honor.